Hi guys! We're back. Well, I guess we're back. This is me doing, I guess you could say, a intro, I guess? I'm not really committed to playing Darkest Dungeon quite yet. This is just sort of an explanation to certain things. I already have a few test runs going on. Basically, I've been working on an overhaul. And the overhaul, basically, at least for me, is I'm changing everything about the game. The only thing I'm not really changing with the game is the monsters. What their attacks are, what their percentages, what they do to you, that's all the same. Everything else beyond that, mind you, and the boss is different. So, just to give a general look here, here's the mods that I use. That's it. Everything else besides these mods here, and these two are just, this one I use for cheating purposes, other things. Everything else, I mean, there are like about, I want to say 70, maybe 80 more mods that are just in the game. They're not mods, they're just in the game. In addition to it. So like the loading screen, for example, for the Hamlet is different. See, it's this. It's not the same as the normal one. So it's all these mods. I'm pretty sure I'll put in like a whole list of all the mods I use under my overhaul. Not my overhaul, but it's just, you know, it's just this different way of playing Darkest Dungeon. It's my interpretation of how Darkest Dungeon should be played. Now, it's not 100% done. It's not 100%
In truth,
balanced.
I cannot tell how much
It's not,
time has passed
you know,
since
it's
I
not
sent
like
that
it's not
letter.
going to appeal to everybody. But this is just like how I would have liked Darkest Dungeon to play around with. So here we have a town event for the Falconeer that I had just used as a placeholder because I don't know how to create town events for myself. If I did, this would be an issue. But the way my overhaul does basically three major things. Number one is that it changes how the quest is done. So there are more quests to do, but because there's more quests to do and there's different types of quests, the quests themselves are 50% longer. So if I were to, let's say, go into a provision thing, you need a lot more provisions because the map itself is much bigger than the actual normal game. So whatever strategies you had to go for before the normal vanilla game do not apply here. Most of the strategies, even for the classes themselves, don't apply here. Because I changed all of it. So the balance is different, the perspective is different, the strategies are different. And that's kind of the point. So like, as you saw before with the town event, there are three types of characters in this game. There are common units, there are semi-uniques, and then there are uniques. Common units are characters that you can spawn from the stagecoach, and because I didn't really fill it out, it's sort of empty. But basically, all these classes here are all common units. Of the 15 vanilla classes, I think only about all but 3 of them are common units. The only ones that aren't common units are the Jester, the Leper, the Crusader, and the Abomination. And then because I had to replace those 4 classes with something else, you have the Pit Fighter, the Butcher, and the Druid. There's another one. I think that's it. Yeah. Everything else is the same. So these guys are semi-uniques. So you have the Black Mage, you have the Leaper, you have the Valkyrie, the Crusader, and there's another one, I can't remember which one that was. I'm pretty sure it's the Prophetess, which is your Cleric. So the difference between common, semi-unique, and unique is that common units, like the Arbalest or the Helion, only have 4 abilities. That's it. They only get 4. They probably get more later, I don't know, that's not definite in my book. But they only have 4 abilities, whereas semi-uniques, like the Prophetess, have 7 at all times. So they're more versatile, but they're not any more powerful than the common units. They're basically as powerful as the common units, but they're just more versatile. He can heal, he can stun, he can blight, he can buff, he can prevent. He can do all the healer stuff, and he can deal damage, and he can buff and support. So he does a lot of things. Whereas the Vestal? The Vestal class, however, only has a damage dealing, a stun, a single target heal, and a multi-target heal. And that's it. That's all you got. So the semi-unique is just more versatile. Whereas the uniques, let's see, where the uniques do I got? I got the Lord class, which I'm not going to introduce because he's kind of a hot topic issue. The Abomination, which is considered a unique. The only major difference with the Abomination, in my book, is that they have higher stats, so they normally have about 20-ish to level 1, and 15 protection. And their death blow resistance is higher. Also, there's 4 trinkets, but that's the other overhaul thing that I have to deal with. So that's the first. So the first overhaul is the quest length and the quests themselves. The second overhaul is the classes themselves, and the third overhaul is the trinkets, which I don't really like trinkets, to be fair. So I just sort of made it so that most of them are in this like it's only the small aspect, but some of them don't work. Like this one's like it sort of leaks out. But who cares, honestly? So if like the Abomination, having 4 slots allows you to have a lot of creativity with how you want to create your class. So you could have like, you know, this one that gives you +1 speed, but this one minus your speed, so it equalizes, and then you get to +10 HP. And this one gives you another 10 HP. So it allows you to really customize your class, and you're only really gonna do this with the unique units. Maybe semi-uniques, maybe, I don't really know. Alright, so the whole point of this video is to showcase how bloody awful it is to send a group of common units who are all level 0, which in the normal base game, I think in vanilla, if you were to do that with all level 0s to a level 1 short dungeon, you should be able to get through the whole thing relatively quickly with minor difficulties. Maybe some of them will be like afflicted, maybe one of them will be close to death, but in this game, no. You can't even do that. You can't even go through a short dungeon at level 1, a short dungeon, level 1 short dungeon with 4 level 0s, because you're going to have a 100% chance of failing it. And I'm going to show you why. Mainly because their damage is halved, so they do half the damage they did before. But the difference between that is that the Man-at-Arms is a character who's all about protecting people, stunning people, and then dealing damage from stun. So they're specialized into certain aspects, so they have certain synergies. So because he gets bonuses from stunning enemies, if she stuns a guy and sets him up, and since she has higher speed, or I guess he has a higher speed because of that. Oh no, he's a tank. So she has higher speed, so she has probably a good chance of going before he does. So she could set up a guy so he could do a bunch of damage. And then the Highwayman gets bonus damages to humans. So each common unit is good against something. And that's sort of the reason you're like, oh, I'm going to go into the Warrens, for example, which is all a bunch of beasts and humans. You want to bring in maybe a Butcher to give bonus damage to beasts. And so I kept them very special. But they're all common units because, like, they're dime a dozen. If they die, who the bloody hell cares? I mean, honestly, who cares if they die? You get, like, literally a bunch of them later. And it's just about sending them to their deaths and seeing what they can come out of it for, either like getting a trinket, a completing a quest, or... Yeah, that's right, this thing doesn't work. So, I increased the number of quest generations so that, because this is the tutorial dungeon, it's an easy peasy dungeon, it's literally the same no matter how many times you do it. Enemies are all the same, the loot's the same. So, this is a guaranteed level up to anyone you send to. So you tend to want to just save it until you want to get like better people. You don't want to send common units to do that, because you can just throw them through a dungeon, and if they survive, great. If they don't, oh well. You just don't want all of them to die. If they all die, then that's really awful. So let's go through a dungeon. Generally speaking, you want about this much. 16 food. And two of these in case you run into a secret room. The ruins, so they do with holy water and it's holy water and keys. So and you want a stack and a half, maybe even 2 full stacks. Maybe. We'll bring one of those in case I run into a madman. Some crazy bastards. In that case, let's bring 2 of each just in case. You never know what you'll run into. Yeah, that seems about right for my suicide run of these guys who are absolutely 100% chance they're gonna die. So I think I'm gonna do a few more of these videos, or these intros, of just like the difference between why this game is different than vanilla, and then after I've already finished enough of the overhaul to where the first 20 or so weeks should be pretty balanced. I don't know. I'll make other videos to showcase...
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
God, I love that voice. It's so good. So, as you can see, the dungeon is a lot bigger. It's probably about the mod that I use is called 50% more dungeons. The dungeons are 1.5 times bigger than they're supposed to be. So that adds a lot more stuff. Since the Jester's not a normal class anymore, stress is a huge part of this game. Alright, nothing. Great. Let's go through our first let's go through our first battle, huh? Let's see how awful it is. You're the worst. So all you do is that. Okay, that's it. We're gonna double up. That's fair. I don't mean to sound like a pessimist when playing this game, but man, this game makes me such a pessimist. Okay, so I'm gonna defend. Aegis block. Action for a bit. Duration of. Just that. It's reposits. So because there's no actual stress heals in this game at all, except if you were to have a Justin, all the heals heal a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Oh man, I'm really in the back there. You need to see fast. Oh. So now that I know... Oh, that doesn't help at all. So lame. Heal. Blocks. Go. Cool. But it does not matter. Really? Really? I just spent like 2 turns doing that. This is up. We're not going to be able to kill him anymore. Oh. Should have gone forward. Yep.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Do not do anything, please.
fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Masterfully executed.
Taking literally forever.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Blocks go away. It does. Just get done.
Slowly, gently.
Look.
This is how a life is taken.
Alright. Just one combat. The bone courier. Oh, we'll do the strength guys first.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Get rid of that increase. It's a bit too powerful. I mean, it gives the guy a free block, and it stuns them and knocks it back. It's three things in one, so everything it does does two. As I probably should mention, none of these change. None of these things you see are final. I might change them or English emphasis or whatever. Because, you know, there's always balance issues. You're changing the whole game. You have no idea how that is going to affect the game itself. It can make it worse, different, make it. It's all up in the air, so I'm always constantly changing the game. With normal amount of damage. I guess, you know, the whole 30% extra damage minus 50% thing isn't too much. I guess only because I've only seen it do significant changes to damage when you're level 1 and above and get your upgraded equipment and stuff. Because then it has a much more of an impact. You see a very notable difference in your specialization. As far as level 0, you don't get much. This way. Two, do that much. There we go. No. Crit. No crit? Really? I've done this with crit this whole time. I'm all disappointed. Little. I'm supposed to be on Steigen and everything. I figured that the crit chance would be a lot higher. Or at least a little bit higher. It's a bit more noticeable. see we're pretty low. I like how I heal myself.
A death by inches.
And more blood. Awesome.
A trifling
DLC
victory,
that I just simply won't
but a
do.
victory nonetheless.
Journal entry. Almost completely useless. Wonderful. I don't know where it is. I need to go do all 100% of the room battle.
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
The descent into madness begins. The spiraling fall of all four of these heroes. I'm gonna start with the first one.
A handsome reward for a
all this is
task
just
well
gonna go
performed.
I've had so many battles where you'd have 4 heroes who were all like in like, I don't know, 150 level on each, and they would all just die instantly in one battle, like without you even doing anything. They basically, before you even get a chance to go, they all 4 of them just die. You have no chance of retreat at all, and it's the crappiest feeling in the world. That's the whole point of playing with level 0, but I can't seem to get the rest of the game to feel that way. It gets pretty standard after you get to level 1. Because this lowers your stress down, so I'm going to give it to my tank.
A powerful blow.
Still no crits. I'm a little disappointed. I thought this video, because the way that I've seen it, at least in my testing, your party could take about maybe 7 crits, and then after that, if you get more than that, your chances of completing a quest, no matter what, no matter if you have 70 in your party or not, goes down a lot. If you can't out-heal that much damage, nor can you stress.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
What? Not even like halfway through a dungeon? No, never mind.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Yeah, it is, boss. Sorry, it is, boss. There are a lot of combat encounters in here. Good thing they're all kind of... Just stop doing that.
Executed with impunity. A decisive pummeling.
Well, it was 3 on 4.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yeah. Anything? No. Hang on.
laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Oh yeah, I should probably also mention if I run into a mini-boss, this thing's basically over. There's no way on earth that 4 level 0s can deal with a mini-boss. Okay, mate, can you not do that? Block damage and anything else. So I can do that? I never really figured that out, whether or not maybe it's just blocks damage or blocks something else. And once again. Get stuck. Like he's gonna die.
A brilliant confluence of skill and
Are you serious? Really? We're gonna die. Alright. Should be it. So I'll put like a little counter for the video, because I've actually lost count. How many counters should I go through? This is gonna be like it. Really? Really? Really need you not to do this.
Perched at the very precipice
Oh, he's
of
absolutely
oblivion.
gonna die now. None of our guys get to go. These two have really high speed. Oh, this is really bad. Alright, let's just kill 2 of them. Goodbye. Alright, I can set the heal. That's nice. Literally right at the cusp. Okay. Start you, hopefully. Or not. Start you, hopefully. Really? Really? How does that even work? He has a 0%. That's a 90% chance of going
Reeling,
through.
gasping, taken over the edge into madness.
I'm sorry, no, this went wonderfully.
Well struck.
Got 2 fails and 2 almost fails. This guy's about to die, so. You know, if you future note to self. I guess this is my past self telling my future self. I might have to add those little mini bosses in there. I thought about it. I'm gonna do it. Great. That's a really interesting idea. It just gives you more chances of losing an expedition, which is kind of important. 2. What is she? Irrational? Alright, I guess that's what you do. Irrational. Cool. Did you be starting these? Goodbye.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
More heirlooms. Up here, down, down. I guess there's no easy way of doing it, is there? Boom. Yeah, no, okay, we are not doing that at all. That is the Shambler's Altar. That literally, not figuratively, summons a mini-boss. And it's one of the hardest mini-bosses. They're actually harder than some bosses to deal with. Maybe if I had a better crew, then maybe I might have attempted it. No, not in this case. I always seem to get the Shambler's Altar on parties that really, really don't want to deal with that. I think he's gonna die. I legitimately think he's gonna die now. Because if one of those grave nibbles hit this guy, he's dead. Oh, he doesn't want to work. That's cool. You just want to go? That's cool. Nope, put up my bones. Not like you're gonna get spitted on and die awfully. Protect you. Die. Very able to absolutely target everybody but you. He's gonna die. Can you do something? Can you not do that, please? Just... Heal! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's even worse. Alright, that's it. It's over.
Wherefore,
2 abusives.
heroism.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so much stress damage being passed around now. Because abusive usually
As
means that the
victories
person's
mount,
going to yell
so
at
too
another
will
of the
resistance.
heroes when they do anything. If they get hit, if they miss, if they get hit, if they do land a hit. Yeah, like a surprise from this low. Take it. What you? Man, we're so screwed. 57%, huh? There it is.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Protect you from being killed instantly. Funny enough, I haven't gotten a single critical in the entire dungeon. Not once. Still haven't gotten it. I'm very surprised. Critical heal. That doesn't activate the critical. Laying it on him. Hello. Really? Really? Was that really necessary? And I know you're abusive and all, but come on. You next. 6 more. Do this. Oh, it's a critical.
Death waits.
All right, the
slightest
worst time
lapse
too.
in concentration. Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism
Oh, it's a critical.
or cowardice.
Yes. Great. Can I go now? Can my mage, can my healer go now? I kind of need her to go at least like once. Protection. Am I gonna make it through this? Really? Are you serious? Why? Heal! Critical! Jeez Louise, she crits so much! Can you calm down a little bit? Great lady. Critical. Alright,
These
so
nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
At some point. That's gonna be fun. Since you're the one that does all the damage. That's gonna give you armor, it's gonna be... Okay, I guess it's gonna be a perk. Totally gonna be great when you die. This way. Eeny, meeny, miny. I also forgot that I have to do 100% of the room battles, and because the quest is over, that means I have another quest to do. I have another battle to do.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Yeah. I'm so not a single scouting thing, huh? Oh. Great.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Spent. I am Patrick Stewart. I'm going to talk in a very slow, sovereign tone. To emphasize that I am British, and I am rich and famous and wealthy. Oh, of course, it's at the back of the dungeon, far away from weary adventurers. There's a travel ground. Which one of you is stronger to decide? It appears to be the Raven. And you have failed, and now have failed the results. You are now bankrupt.
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
You eat your food. Oh, what strange. If this is annoying you, I will probably stop by the next episode. But I cannot guarantee I'll continue it when I hear those stupid... Not stupid, but... You know what I mean. The narrator is what just kick ass. Really? Another Shamblers thing? Really? There's one right here and one here. Oh, it's just ridiculous. The game's like one. Hey, I know you're level 0 and all, but you want to do a boss? Yeah, you want to. You know, I know you're recording right now. I know you want to. I know you want to do it. Oh my god, I'm out of torches. This is it. This is make it or break it. I could have just left. Oh, this is gonna be it. So this is it. Either I kill all 4 of them, or all of them die. I know I could have just retreated, and I would have lost a bunch of crap. Or I would have lost, you know, these are all stupid complications. How much money is that? That's like, what, 3,000 just for the gold alone, and then there's 5 of these, which is about 1,000-ish. 1,500-ish, which is 4,000, that's about 5,000-ish. Well, that's definitely 6,000. 6,000, 6,500, 7,000, 6,000 to 7,000-ish gold, which is about as much money as I spent to fund this thing to begin with. About 2,000 gold bonus. Now if I complete the dungeon, I get another 3,000 bonus and a trinket, which I'm not going to sell. So there's really no reason to retreat because I only get a 2,000 gold bonus and these guys are useless. So it's better off that I just...
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
And he's stolen. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, game. Whatever. Totally just ruined the formation thing by using a random skill applied to the combat scenario. Now that is another
Teetering
one.
on the brink, facing the abyss.
Oh yeah, they're all gonna die. There's no way. We're done. Yeah,
This is
we're
no
done.
place
That's it.
for the
I give
weak
up.
or foolhardy.
We're done. We're done. We're done. You hear me furiously mashing the retreat for combat button.
This skirmish may be lost, but the battle may yet be won. Another life wasted in the pursuit of glory and gold.
No way! No way! Oh, it's over!
Disappointment.
Oh,
You will endure this loss
oh
and
no.
learn from it.
Okay, guys, so that is a normal ending to a normal dungeon. So yeah, that's technically how we have a roll here. So this is the reason why you don't bring 4 level 0s into a dungeon, because they will die. You'll get to the very, very, very end of the dungeon, and you'll either make it or you won't.
All my life,
And if you
I
don't
could
make
feel
it,
an
they all
insistent
die.
gnawing in the
Instant.
back of my mind.
Dead.
It
Nothing
was
you
a
can do about
yearning,
it.
a thirst for discovery that could be neither numbed nor sated.
I lost about 6,000 gold doing that. Okay, so I guess the next episode I'll show you a much more light-hearted episode of me going through and... oh, my Lord is back. The Lord is, I guess you could say he's a support class because he has a bleed attack, a single target debuff, basically it does a little bit of damage. And there's a multi-target stun with no penalty, unlike, you know, Helion doesn't have that. But, and then the main thing that it has is these 3 abilities. This one gives all your allies 3/6 dodge and 3 speed. This one gives you accuracy and crit, and this one gives the target protection. I mean, he's just a support character. that heals consistently. It's unique. So yeah, I feel like if you're gonna throw him into the thing, he's gonna be like if I had to give this character a name, it would be. Oops. Robin. You know, for that character who wears a similar outfit like that in Fire Emblem, who's a tactician, who casts spells and uses a sword. I don't know, that's how I see it. So anyway guys, next time I guess I'll show you what it's like to go through a dungeon with an actual level 1. You know, I might get him killed though. It's a possibility. Just because the only thing you get at level 1 really is you don't get any stress negatives for being in the dungeon. And on top of that, you have a stress resistance. Like, you automatically get a stress penalty when you're level 0. When you're in a dungeon that you aren't proficient in, you get a stress penalty for that. So, yeah. I guess that's it. Okay, see you. Bye.